Hello and welcome to Raju Notes channel, your pit stop for weekly current affairs updates. The updates tailor-made for students taking all kinds of competitive exams like UPSC, civils, defense and placement interviews. Please subscribe to the channel and stay updated every Sunday. Prime Minister Narendra Modi said India conducting Asia's first demonstration for performance-based navigation for helicopters using the Gagan satellite technology is a noteworthy milestone. A flight from Juhu to Pune was made using the Gagan satellite technology that enhances accuracy, allowing for a high-quality air traffic management, said Civil Aviation Minister Mr. Jyotiraj Scindia. The Government of India has imposed stock limit on tur and urad dal to prevent hoarding and increase affordability for consumers. The limits applicable to wholesaler, retailers, big chain retailers, millers and importers will remain in effect till end of October. While wholesalers can keep 200 metric tons of each pulse, big chain retailers can keep 5 metric tons at each retail outlet. As many as 885 people were evacuated after a Soviet-era dam in South Ukraine's Nova Kakhovka was blown up on Tuesday this week. Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky said 80 settlements are at risk of flooding after destruction of the dam. A state of emergency was also declared in the area near the dam. Alexander Prokudin, the governor of Kherson region, assured people of support from all emergency services. Iran has introduced its first hypersonic missile called Fatah, claiming it can penetrate missile defense system and provide a military advantage. According to state media, the missile can travel at 15 times the speed of a sound. Its average speed is around 16,000 feet per second with a range of 1400 kilometers. The missile name Fatah translates roughly to the opener. Tesla has agreed to a proposal put forth by the Center for setting up a vendor base in India, the Financial Express reported. The Indian government has reportedly suggested that the electric vehicle manufacturer first set up a domestic vehicle assembly facility, followed by vendor base. Tesla wants to speedily set up an Indian vendor base, the report added. Kerala has become India's first state with its own internet service provider after Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan launched the Kerala Fiber Optic Network (KFON), which will offer speeds of up to 1 gigabytes per second. KFON offers free internet connection to 20 lakh families, thus ending digital divide, Vijayan said. He added that KFON connection have already been given to 17,412 government offices. The US Space Force would launch Silent Barker, a constellation of spy satellites to track potential threats from China and Russia space vehicles. This network, operating in geosynchronous orbit around 35,400 kilometers above Earth, will complement ground-based sensors and low Earth orbit satellites. It aims to monitor threats that could potentially disable or damage orbiting objects. The cabinet has approved a revival package of 89,047 crores for state-run Bharat Sanchar Nigam Limited (BSNL). Commerce Minister Piyush Goyal announced this on this Wednesday. In the union budget this year, the government announced a capital infusion of 52,937 crores in BSNL for financial year 24, higher than 44,720 crores budget in previous year financial year 2023. French President Emmanuel Macron has objected to NATO's proposal to open its first Asia office in Japan's Tokyo because he believes the transatlantic security alliance should remain focused on its own North Atlantic region, the Financial Times reported. If we push NATO to enlarge the spectrum and the geography, we will make a big mistake, the paper quoted Macron as saying. President Draupadi Murmu visited Belgrade, the capital city of Serbia, for 3 day state visit from 7th to 9th of this month at the invitation of Belgrade President Alexandra Vucic. This is the first ever state visit of the head of the states between the two countries. The focus of the visit is to encourage the business communities of both the countries to explore possibilities and prospects of business opportunities. Both countries agreed to set a target for bilateral trade from present 320 million euros to 1 billion euros by end of this decade. The Reserve Bank of India's Monetary Policy Committee MPC has lowered its retail inflation forecast for financial year 24 from 5.2% to 5.1%. In addition, the Reserve Bank of India Governor Shaktikanta Das this week announced to keep the repo rate unchanged to 6.5%. In its previous policy in April 2, the RBI has kept the policy repo rate unchanged at 6.5%. The repo rate is a rate at which the RBI lends money to the banks. The DRDO successfully flight tested the new generation ballistic missile Agni Prime this Wednesday. This was the first pre-induction night launch conducted by the user after 3 successful developments trial of the missile, DRDO said. This has paved the way for induction of the system into the armed forces. The Eurozone, which consists of 20 member states of European Union that have adopted the euro as their primary currency, has fallen into recession. In the first quarter of the year, gross domestic product GDP dropped by 0.1% in Eurozone compared with the previous quarter. In the fourth quarter of 2022, GDP also decreased by 0.1%, the figure showed. NASA is planning to launch its long-delayed Psyche mission to the asteroid named 16 Psyche, whose composition is thought to include numerous metals. The mission would be launched this year. NASA aims to examine the asteroid metallic core to learn more about its celestial body's form and help understand the formation of planets and our solar system. The University Grants Commission has released recommendations of a new nomenclature for degree awarded by higher education institutions. These include awarding Bachelor of Science (BS) degree for a 4-year undergraduate degree program in arts, humanities, engineering, commerce, etc. Another proposed change is handing out degrees with the nomenclature of honors and research if the program has research component embedded into it. The Reserve Bank of India on Thursday allowed issuance of RuPay prepaid Forex cards by banks in India for use at ATMs, point of sales machine and online merchants overseas. Further, the RBI also allowed issuance of RuPay debit, credit and prepaid cards in foreign jurisdictions, which can be used in India and internationally. These measures will expand the reach of RuPay card globally, Governor Shaktikanta Das said. ISRO Chairman S. Somnath has said the space agency will be launching the Chandrayaan 3 mission in mid-July. Chandrayaan 3 is nearing launch. The satellite has moved up from U.R. Rao Satellite Center to Satish Dhawan Space Center. The rocket is LVM-3 and its integration is currently going on, he said. The rocket will be fully ready by this month end. India, France and United Arab Emirates successfully conducted their first trilateral maritime exercise in Gulf of Oman on June 8th. The 2-day exercise, which began on 7 June, involved the participation of naval assets from all the three countries. The maiden exercise was aimed at enhancing trilateral cooperation between the three navies and also paved the way for adopting measures towards addressing traditional and non-traditional threats in the maritime environment. The exercise will also enhance collaboration in ensuring the safety of mercantile trade and freedom of navigation at high seas in the region.
And now for the segment where we see the events that unfolded this week back in history.
4th June 1940, Dunkirk evacuation ended. Following a massive rescue effort that included civilian boats, the withdrawal of Allied troops trapped at Dunkirk, France, was completed on this day during World War II. More than 3 lakh soldiers were saved. 5th June 1967, start of the Six-Day War. Israel, amid raising tensions with Egypt, Syria, and Jordan, staged a preemptive air assault and soundedly defeated those Arab countries, notably seizing the old city of Jerusalem and the Gaza Strip before a ceasefire. 6 June 1944, Normandy invasion began. Led by US General Dwight D. Eisenhower, an Allied armada of ships, plane and landing crafts, and some 156,000 troops began the invasion of northern France from England this day in 1944, the famous D-Day of World War II. 7 June 1929, Lateran Treaty ratified. Through the Lateran Treaty, signed February 11, 1929 by Benito Mussolini for Italy and by Pietro Gasparri, Cardinal Secretary of State for Papacy, and ratifying this day in 1929, Vatican City became a sovereign state. 8 June 1504, Michelangelo David installed in Florence. Believed to have been installed this day in 1504 in the Cathedral of Florence was Michelangelo statue of David, commissioned in 1501 and considered the prime statement of the Renaissance idea of perfect humanity. (9th June 1983), landslide re-election victory for Margaret Thatcher. British Conservative Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher, buoyed by victory in the Falkland Island War and by deep division within the opposition Labour Party, was easily re-elected to a second term in the office this day in 1983. (10th June 1692), first witch hanged in Salem village. Being found guilty of certain detestable arts called witchcraft and sorceries, Bridget Bishop on this day in 1692 became the first person to be hanged during the Salem witch trials in the Massachusetts Bay Colony.
Well, that's all friends for this week's updates. See you soon next Sunday on the same channel. Till then, take care. Bye bye.